Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again, and today we're here for Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger episode 24. Now this episode revealed a lot, and I really thought this was gonna be like a kind of a chill episode with Bugnarok just coming out of nowhere, but there is a lot that happened in this episode, and there's a lot of context and a lot of past stuff that happened 2,000 years ago revealed, and Bugnarok just is fed up. He is fed up about what's going on with his people and the people on the surface, and he just overly just decides that, hey, I'm just gonna blow the freaking planet up. I'm just gonna blow up the planet. You know, he shoos Kamen runs away from him, trying to convince him not to do this, and Bugnarok is just, he ain't having it. He's ready to end. He's ready to get his way. He's sick of taking L's, and that's when we see Jeremy. And maybe one of my favorite characters, but the bug with him that can cloak itself and things like that, cloak itself and make illusions and stuff. Yeah, that guy. He's back, and his little somber, cute voice. I love that guy. I really hope nothing bad happens to him. I don't want him to die. Please don't let this guy die. But that's when Jeremy tries to, give him the words. I mean, he does fight him. He does fight him, but he's trying to convince the Bugnarok not to do what he's about to do. And it's revealed that Bugnarok, he feels bad. He's angry because his whole life he's been forced to live down there in the underground, and basically forced to live down there for crimes that they don't even know that happened, and don't even know what crimes they don't even know the crimes that they're aware of. They're not even aware of any of the crimes that the Bugnarok did way back in the past. So he's mad about that. Like, he's basically, these are a bunch of false allegations on them, and they don't know why they're down there, and that's why they're so angry. And with Bugnarok being a king himself, took it upon himself to just blow this planet up. So we see that he has sent out another Bugnarok to go down and dig a giant gaping hole into Terra, and all the way down to the Earth's core, which sends out a massive heat wave throughout all 5 kingdoms. And all 5 kingdoms are having this massive heat wave, and everybody's hot. So we get back to Gira, who is, he's sitting in his throne, he hot, and the other 4 kings basically start making demands of Gira, telling him to do this and do that, especially what Rita wanted. Like, she is super obsessed with this Mofun show. Like, I don't know, I've been obsessed with shows before, but I've never been this obsessed with it. Well, maybe Gurren Lagann. I could watch Gurren Lagann all day, and Dragon Ball, and Bleach and Fullmetal Alchemist. But anyway, I'm not an anime channel, but yeah, so they make all these demands of him, and that's when that's when his little brother Bun, he comes in and asks Gira that he want to go fishing with him. And we see a lot of character growth in Gira in this episode as well. Basically him deciding that he doesn't have to be a tyrant king to rule over everybody, and he doesn't have to pretend to be something he's not. But he kind of sends Bun off, telling him that he can't go fishing with him, and kind of makes Bun sad. But then that's when we see that Yanma gets the idea to have this big festival party in Shogadam, and they have this big festival. Gira kind of makes up with Bun, and they end up having this festival. They're having all these really cool shenanigans and things like that throughout the festival, and it's actually really, really entertaining. And all the rangers have their own different booths and things like that. Dabowski is serving out food. We see that Yama is having this rigged laser game. We see that Rita's just serving freaking snow cones and stuff that look like Mofun. Again, obsessed with this freaking show. And that's when we see that Jeremy is still speaking with Bugnarok, but he has this realization that because he has this realization, he goes back to Shogunam. He actually talks to Bun, and then Bun is actually afraid of him because he sees Jeremy's hand, and he's afraid of Jeremy's hand because Jeremy is half Bugnarok. So Gira has to come over there and explain to him that, hey, he's actually a good guy. And he asks Bun, like, are you afraid of Bugnarok? Why are you afraid of Bugnarok? And then Bun actually mentions the story of the 5 kings who defeated the Bugnarok. And that's why people are innately just afraid of him. And then Jeremy has a realization that everything that's happened is essentially his fault because of the story that he wrote. He wrote that the Bugnarok are bad creatures, or bad people. And now everybody just innately hates them because they've gone off of the story that he wrote 2,000 years ago. From all this time they've gone over this, so now people are automatically just afraid of Bugnarok. So yeah, kind of makes you sound like what's going on in the actual society right now, but we're not that kind of channel either. But after that, we end up seeing the he's a Bugnarok, but he's like a crawfish, which is weird. It's not admittedly weird because crabs and lobsters and other crustaceans, they are essentially categorized as bugs. They just live in the water. But hey, phone. But we see that he is he is the Bugnarok that dug the hole all the way down there into the Earth's core. So they end up everybody basically hinges up and starts to fight him. They end up defeating him by actually fishing him out of the hole that he jumped into. And it was actually kind of funny. Like, they used one of the shoe guys, the little spider one. They end up using him as a lure. They rip him out of the hole. They rip him out of the hole, and they ended up defeating him. After they end up defeating him, that's when they go and find the giant hole that he dug. And also, Jeremy has not told them anything about what he talked about with Death Notok and things like that. So he's a little torn right now. So that's when Death Notok attacks, and that's when our Rangers he shows up. That's when our Rangers go off to battle Death Notok. And while they're battling him, we see that Dabowski tells Jeremy to, hey, web him up, stuff like that. And that's when Jeremy decides no. He ends up webbing up the Rangers. He ends up webbing up everybody else, and everybody ends up thinking that he was going to destroy them. He betrayed them. But that's when Jeremy basically decides to trying to talk to Death Notok and trying to get him not to do what he's about to do. And we see that he has the Greater Guardian Spirit's souls again, and then he ends up eating all of them. And he starts to walk over. After they've greatly damaged him, so he tries to go and walk over to the hole. Jeremy's still trying to talk to him. He webs him up and stuff. But that's when Jeremy reveals that he is Death Notok's ancestor. Like, he's Death Notok's ancestor, and he has the Narok name. So I guess Narok is Death Notok's real name. So your first name is Death. Oh my god. But that's when he does reveal that. But Death Notok is too far gone. He's too freaking far gone. So he ends up jumping into the hole, and he falls into the Earth's core, and he decides that he's going to make himself grow inside of the Earth, and he's going to destroy the Earth from the inside out and end up just destroying everything and everybody else. He jumps in the hole, falls into the lava, and the episode basically ends off right there with Jeremy screaming, "Don't do it." And yeah, but in this episode, I did love the character growth of Gira, and I do like this character growth because it's also going to show how Gira is going to be when Raculus does return to some form of fashion. When Raculus does return. And now, if next episode is the death of Death Notok if this is his, his last episode, who is going to take over the rest of the Bugnarok Empire. It could be Kamen, because Kamen was only in one scene and he did run away. So it could be Kamen taking over, or it could be that other like Bugnarok guy we saw in the cloak from years ago. It could be him, or it inevitably it could end up being Raculus, because now that king, they don't have a king, don't have a leader. So yeah, but I don't think Raculus. I mean, maybe Raculus would go to the Bugnarok and take them over and stuff. Now that it would, if Deathnarok does, kick the bucket, if he croaks. But yeah, that whole thing. But if you really think about it, all this is happening because of Jeremy, because of the stories that he wrote, because of the legend that he wrote. All this is happening because of him, but he's feeling really, really bad about it. That's why he actually offers to jump in the hole with Deathnarok, and actually like burn with him. So yeah, but other than that, like I can't imagine how Jeremy's feeling right now, especially knowing the fact that all this technically is his fault because of what he wrote, and his whole thing was his whole dream of Deathnarok, of Bugnarok and humans, shaking hands, joining hands one day, was inevitably messed up by his own hands. He did that. So his whole dream of them actually uniting one day is kind of impossible. It's still possible, but it's kind of impossible seeing how jaded they are. Seeing how jaded Deathnarok is. But other than that, this was a great episode. I did love it. It was very entertaining. A lot of actually good character growth, and a lot of past lore thrown in there. And Jeremy, heartbroken. But with that being said, guys, you guys let me know down there in the comment section below what you guys think of episode 24 of Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm going to see you guys next time. And remember, stay henshined.